Good evening and thank you for joining us. Thunder Bay's 2023 budget has officially been ratified by City Council.
Councillors unanimously approved the document after a few more minor cuts were made during the final meeting last night. And while Council managed to shave nearly 1.2% of the tax levy increase that was initially proposed, residents are still in for one of the largest hikes in recent history. Vasilios Bellos explains.
Thunder Bay City Council has agreed on a 2023 tax levy hike of 5.01% before growth and 4.41% after. It's the highest increase since at least 2009, though it is a drop from the proposed 6.2% before growth that began the process. During deliberations, Mayor Ken Boshkov was pushing for significant cuts down to 2%, but stresses being unable to even come close to that number reflects the difficult economic climate we're in.
Everybody really, I think, tried to hold the line, and for me to acquiesce and accept what they did only because people worked very hard to try and get to where we are. It tells you how serious the future is in terms of taxation.
Some drastic measures were taken to lower the tax levy hike, including staffing and service cuts, and drawing on an additional $1 million from reserve funds.
My feelings are good, but as I said, I'm conflicted somewhat.
Budget Chair Mark Bentz fears many of the cuts during the process reflect a shift to emergency services, burning up the city budget.
We're going to meet the community's expectation to stay in at inflation. Because if our emergency services and social services are above inflation constantly, there's got to be a give, and that give will be community services.
The police services budget, as it historically has been, was the driving factor raising the tax levy, with this year's including a $4 million increase over last.
We're going to just become a city of emergency services and roads.
Councillor Andrew Folds was supportive of the police service during their budget presentation, but says this process has been a difficult one, as council has little impact on emergency services spending.
You know, one of the few things that we do have almost 100% control is things like parks and recreation and seniors programs. And, you know, those were the cuts.
With the tax hike set, administration estimated that it would translate to an increase of about $71 per 100,000 of assessed value for the owner of a single-family home. If council had stuck with the initial proposed budget and avoided service cuts, that number would have been $88. Vasilios Bellos, TBT News.